Hey VC, welcome back. This is Hubtunes. I'm Mike. How's everyone doing? Pretty good here. Feels like I haven't made a video for a while, but I don't know. I've kind of slowed down. Just, I don't know. Work has been crazy and it's just life, you know how it is. But I wanted to do a second installment of my concert review series. I was lucky enough last week, to go see this amazing gentleman, Herbie Hancock. This is Inventions and Dimensions, my favorite Herbie Hancock album. I want to show Herbie Hancock and Jaco Pastorius live in Chicago, 1977. It's a fantastic. It's just an FM recording put on vinyl, but really cool. If you find this, the sound is amazing, and it's a great set. Highly recommend that. So got to see Herbie Hancock. He's 81 now. Probably winding things down, I would think, but you never know with some of these guys. They just keep going and going. But I just had to go see him one more time. It was at Symphony Center here in Chicago. Beautiful venue, Chicago Symphony Center. Stunning sound, absolutely gorgeous inside. Fairly packed house, a lot of empty sections. In fact, the whole upper deck was empty. I'm guessing because of the pandemic and everything. But still, very good crowd. Very happy to see him. A lot of family. He had a lot of family in the audience, as he's from Chicago, so there was a whole section that I think was pretty much his family. And they were very boisterous, and Herbie was energetic. He was funny, great sense of humor. He was all over the stage when he wasn't behind the piano. He was great. The venue, masks required, vaccine card required, no big deal. So this is the program we got. It was the first show back for Symphony Center since the pandemic began. So they kicked it off in style with Herbie Hancock. It was perfectly Herbie. It was exactly what you would expect from Herbie Hancock. He came out grand piano, but also surrounded by all kinds of other keyboards and pianos and stuff. And he switched from grand piano to electric piano to synths in the middle of every song. He was all over the place. He had I'll go through the band. It was Herbie on piano, James Jennis on bass, Lionel Lusky on guitar, Elena Penderhughes on flute. She was flute and vocal. She was fantastic. And the highlight of the whole band, next to Herbie, of course, was Justin Tyson on drums. This kid, he was under 30. I don't know how old he is. He looked very young. He was a rock drummer in a jazz band. This kid could play. I mean, he is awesome. He apparently also plays with Robert Glasper from time to time, who I absolutely adore. So yeah, what was his name again? Justin Tyson. If you see him on any albums current day, go check him out. He's a wonderful drummer. So that was the lineup. No big horns or anything, just the flute. The guitarist, he was real interesting. He had a little bit of a Pat Metheny sound to him, and along with the flute and the vocals, he also did vocals on a couple of new songs. Really cool. It gave it a world music kind of vibe to it. Also, they came out and they did some new songs, which I wasn't real familiar with, but they were really cool. Like I said, kind of a world beat sound to it. Herbie was great on the grand piano for the opener. And then they kind of ventured off into some of Herbie's older stuff. They closed the show with Watermelon Man, but Watermelon Man had like some background vocals, and it had some flute and guitar added to it. It was really cool, reworked. And then they did Chameleon was the encore, and Herbie got up with his guitar synth and was all over the stage, having a blast, an absolute blast. This guy had a smile on his face from the second he walked onto that stage to the second he left. Really, really cool. What else did I want to say about it? Geez, it was a really cool evening. Tickets were not cheap, but I got the cheapest ticket in the house, probably $80. So I was kind of assuming that I had bad seats, but in a place like that, there's no such thing as a bad seat unless you're really, really high up. I was on I guess they call it kind of the rotunda that goes around the back of the stage, and I was in like second row. I mean, Herbie was right in front of me. It was really cool. The sound probably wasn't as good as it was on the front side of the stage, but it's still, in a place like that, the sound was absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, that's about it. Always great to see a freaking legend in concert. The set was great. Herbie was on top of it at 81 years old. Really, really impressive. His band that he surrounded himself, top notch. Highly, highly recommend go and see him if he comes to your town on this tour. I don't know how big the tour was. I want to say maybe 20, 21 cities. So pretty good for an 81-year-old. That's it. Herbie Hancock live in Chicago. Wonderful, wonderful evening. You guys stay safe. We got a review coming up next week. Probably going to be the Psychedelic Furs. We had Gary Newman canceled his U.S. tour, so that's 3 shows I won't be reviewing in this series. And Of Montreal also canceled their tour, so I won't be reviewing that. But yeah, we got some jazz coming up too. Probably gonna go see Ravi Coltrane. We'll see about that. And yeah, Pat Metheny coming to town. So some good stuff happening. Making live music come back slowly, slowly, slowly. You guys stay safe. Take care.